I got my camera, came back, and I didn't see anything. I said, well, they got to be up in here somewhere. It might be more. So what I did, I put my camera on telephoto. Okay, I put it on telephoto, and I got a good position where I saw those last, where I saw the object disappear. That's where I took the picture of. And while I was looking in the air, while I was looking at the area where they disappeared, there was another craft that came back, and it turned just like that. I saw a rat smack on the bottom of it. And that was, I was told later at a conference up in Philadelphia that I was talking at, I talked with one of the MUFON director up there. He said, what you saw, that was the Delta, this is one of the Aurora that you saw, there. So you're the only person I've seen that, but that's what happened. And so what I did, I started scanning the area, slowly scanning the area on telephoto, because if you're on telephoto, you got to go real slow if you take a picture, because if you don't, it's going to pass by. I started scanning the area real slow. And I went back and I played it on my VCR. I played it at a normal speed, but I didn't see anything. And I told my friend, which was a MUFON investigator, he came out the next day because he wanted to talk to me about a black train craft that came over Stanwood that the town had seen that night before. I said, hey, you should have been here yesterday afternoon, because I had a real nice sighting. And I took video of it, but nothing came of it. I couldn't see anything. He said, let me see the video. So he took it to my friend's trailer that was living, that rented a spot on my property there. He said, I'm going out to Dwayne, we'll look at it. So they went down to him, Dwayne was looking at this, and they played it in slow motion, slow scan. And that's when they saw it. They said, hey, come here, you got a lot of stuff. I said, what do you mean? I said, I didn't see anything. And so we saw the two objects that looked like a frisbee. We saw those, and we saw this object here. Now this object here, it was going up just like that, going up, and then the two objects that was looking like a frisbee, they came down like this. One came down like that and went up. And when it came down, it looked like a ball about right there. As it came down, it turned. Then you could see the little wings on it. And it turned up and turned into a ball again, went back up, and the other one came right across there like that. Now the Delta, when I didn't see it, now the Delta craft, it was kind of silverish gray looking. The Aurora, that was it looked like the Aurora, but understand the Aurora is up on the moon. They can't bring it down because it's broke down up there. They can't get parts to fix it, and they did away with the mold that they make the parts out of. I don't know anybody ever know about that. Okay, so that's what happened there. Okay, down in Brazil, this is a team of people here, a researcher down in the place they call Piquet. That's the name of it, P-I-Q-U-E-T, Piquet. And this is Mr. Donovan, I think is his name, him and his wife, they head of this group. Now we were out sky watching this night, and there's me, and that was Neil Adam from Florida, and that was Jane, she from out there where Joyce lived, and I think Wooten and Cynthia know all of them, and that's me there. They had a little gathering for us after the sky watch. We went out sky watching, but we didn't see anything. See, like everywhere that we would go, that they would have all kinds of exciting, but the night that we were there, we didn't see anything. And the next day after we leave, they'll call, hey, you should have been here one more day. That's what happened. Okay. Okay, the same group I tell you about, they sent this picture a couple of weeks ago. There was a craft in the area, they had activity, and one of the craft came down, and this is where it left this indentment in the field. It looked kind of like a crop circle, but the craft came down, and this is where he's punched. So they sent me that picture a couple of weeks ago. And that's there, and again, there are other people, these people that saw this down. Now this is about 100 miles north of Brasilia. Brasilia is the capital of Brazil. And about 100 miles north of there, and about 120 miles east of what they call Belo Horizonte. Belo Horizonte, that means beautiful horizon. There was a lot of activity there. And this is down in the Minas Gerais state where they have all these crystals area. And there are a lot of UFOs in that area where the crystal mountains are. But in the early days, they used to see many, but right now, there's one professor of one of the universities there we talked with. he said that they come under now. They don't come because of the technology, because people are aware of this. They don't go over anymore to get their crystal wherever they're doing. They go from the ocean under the ground, deep under the ground, into those crystal fields. Because people that live in the area have heard a lot of vibration and humming and noise, and sometimes they don't, sometimes they do. And so they think that has something to do with it. Okay, now this is back home. This is down in this is down in Granbury, Texas. That's me and my wife, and this is Sandy and Monroe. I don't know if you know Sandy Monroe, but I know Wooden and Essentially do. If you ever watched Walker, they be on his Walker Texas Radio a lot. If you ever see a Native American, that's how they give it a lot. But anyway, what happened after we had this gathering down in Granbury where Joyce lived, and about a week or so later, she called, said that Sandy here and her grandson, they had spotted a UFO in their pasture where their horses are. And so she asked me, could I go down there? So I said, okay, because she had to go see her mother was sick. So I said, okay, I'll go. I packed up and went down the next day. They live in Dublin, which is down south of Granbury. So I went down there, and she told me what happened, that her and her grandkid came out on the porch, and they saw 8 lights in the field that lined up. They're close together, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. And she said, that's 4 pickup trucks in the field there. So first she thought they were pickup trucks. And so her grandson said, yeah, I don't know why they in our field, you know. And she realized, she said, hey, wait a minute. They couldn't be there because they would have to, see, the gate is right by her house. In order for them to get in there, they have to come by her house to get in there. She said, nobody came through there. And so what happened, while they were watching this, these lights, they start rotating. They start rotating, and the thing lifted up and tilt like that, full of wire, and then they shot off. And minutes afterwards, then it was at higher speed Air Force jet was chasing them. This is right down the road down there. And so this gentleman here and his wife, they had an experience of he had radiation burn. But what happened in the trees, not far from where they lived, there was a donut-shaped tree was cut in the trees, and he went down there. He got radiation burn for a long time. He was affected with that, and so they didn't know what. They didn't see the craft that did it, but the area looked just like somebody had a big, huge, giant donut that sit right down in the tree and burn it out, just like the chicken donut. Okay, they're everywhere. Even this. Now, this picture was taken in Germany when I was in the military, and this was a headquarters building. And this is the tent they were getting ready for. They have a lot of fests. I don't know anyone familiar with the German over there, been in the military, but they have a fest for everything. Beer fest, they have Oktoberfest, the Fireman's Fest. They have a big tent set up and they drink beer. So everyone, that's a big thing over there. I mean that's why they we're all getting ready for this. They got the soldiers putting the tent up, and they didn't having a problem getting help to put the tent up because those soldiers, they wanted to get the beer, want to hurry to get it up. And so while they were putting this up, there was a UFO came right over and just buzzed the area. Just flying around, just buzzed the area. I said, what the heck is that, And so we thought it was some kind of balloon or something they did, and they went and got me because I was the communications chief, and we know everything was going on because we're in charge of all of the radar and stuff like that in the area because this is the height of the Cold War during that time. Because we're not far from the border, from the East German border. And so we went in there and checked with the high headquarters in Nuremberg and said, what's going on? Do you have anything? They said, no, so they've been tracking on the radar. And so they left us and went over to Czechoslovakia border, and they protested because they thought that we had something over there, and we thought that they had something down there, but neither one. So they were going back and forth, what you got over here, this is what you got over here on my side. And so couldn't find out the thing disappeared. It was from neither side. And a couple of nights later, one of my men that was on a radio talk duty, he went outside to take smoke a cigarette, and he seen this light right up, straight up, 12 o'clock, straight up in there. It was just hovering there, smoking. So he called me, and I came in. I just had got home, relaxed, came in, and so he looked at that thing. I called my major in, and we all started looking at it. We called the Air Force. The Air Force didn't have no knowledge of it. They didn't know what was going on, which they did. They knew what was going on. because I had a buddy, a master sergeant that worked there, and one day he told me everything was going on. So I said, yeah, that was a UFO. They didn't want to own up to. I thought, yeah, it was one of our one there. It wasn't either one of their UFOs there that we don't know about. Anyway, that was another slide that the guys pointed. Okay, now also in Panama, back in Panama, this is me. I'm on my position. This is what we call a ballast station. This is my ballast station. We out surveying it and getting things ready. So what happened? If we go to wall, we have so many minutes to get to our ballast station. This is what we was. And at that time, I was a ground aircraft observer. There were 4 teams of us. I had a team and 3 other teams. And then if something unidentified aircraft come to the area, like what a lot of times you have drunk pilots down there, good flying there, don't identify themselves. they come into the radar will pick them up. If they fly under the radar because there's some mountain there, then we have to, the Apple has what they call a target acquisition radar. This is what pick things up in the whole Caribbean area. When they get close to the canal, because our main mission was to protect the canal, keep the Soviet Union from blowing it up. And so they would call us, and then we would start looking, eyeball with our long binoculars and see it. And so that's what happened. Now there's that next day, this is one of the places that we had a dramatic experience with these crafts flew over our head. Okay, this is a little village. This old slide, you see all this blotch and stuff on this. You got to remember, these slides go right, these particular one go back to 1965, so I'm surprised they held up that long. But anyway, this is one of their stations, and so we would always stop there and get a refreshment and stuff like that. And every time we stopped there, they always would have some story to tell about the UFOs coming in and out, and they saw light, all that kind of stuff. They would tell us because we the military. They figured that we, was supposed to shoot them down or something. Because on our little emblem, if you saw my cap, our little motto that we sweep the sky. That was our motto. I was in the air defense unit there. And they had us brainwashed. We believed that too. If we couldn't shoot it down, it didn't exist. So that's what we did, because they definitely brainwash you when you're in the military. Okay, so down this road on the other side is where we was on this beach, the Atlantic side, that the craft came down. Okay, this is my buddy. Matter of fact, he was from Texas. He's somewhere. I think he was from Amarillo, Texas. He on this his position here, and my position is back over here. And so this is the canal, and you see the ships going through the lock. Now they built this, and this is the little village they call Parisio here, and over here where we cross over this lock and go back to our bases over here. And so this is his picture. So he saw this craft that flew over our head. He up on the mountain, and you can see the little village down below. Okay, now we're going to talk about the little extraterrestrials. Where did they came from? Okay, now there's a lot of talk what people think where they came from, and I got my idea. Every one of us have our ideas, and truthfully, I think we have to go dig further back and do some research on this. I think they're coming from everywhere. A lot of people think that when they say the ET, they think it's one group of ET, they come from one place, and they all is just like that, and that's the way it is. But I tell you, the ETs, there's many different ETs. There's more species or ETs that are interactive with us here than it is different nationality and race of people here on the planet. Okay, now they come from, and they have their own different agendas, whatever it is, and a lot of people have theory of why they're here, why they're interacting with us. But to tell you the truth, I don't think that no one really knows, because when we try and figure out where they are, where they're coming from, what they are doing, we try and reference on our program. So we are programmed to think a certain way. And so we got to fit our little mold. So where they came from here, this is why. So what we do, we're comparing. It's like a computer, it compare 1 and 0, compare. We'll compare to what we know. But once we get out of the box, then we're lost. And that's what this is all about, and that's what you're here today. That's why you follow the metaphysical thing. We're trying to get out of this box, get out of this shell, to reach out further. That's why we have such a problem with the masses, because they don't want to get out of this box. They want to compare everything. So we figure that we can figure everything out. But we don't know everything, what's going on amongst ourselves. The planet itself, we don't know everything. And we think that we know about those guys. And they know more about us, individuals, than we know about ourselves. I mean, we think we know, but they know more about us than we know about ourselves, because they've been around longer. You know what I mean? We haven't even had the airplane, what, 200 years, under 200 years?